Alright, DJ Esports is a cryptocurrency online betting platform. You make an account and put your crypto in it, and then you can place bets on anything you want regarding your team. Like you can bet on dragons, there's all kinds of things you'll see. You can place your odds. They also have the highest rebate of 8%, and if you bet $1,000, you get 150 back if you lose. So it's not like that punishing, just to try some stuff like that. They have a defeat program that gives you 0.08% a day, which is about 30% a year. What that means is holding crypto in your DJ account, they'll be increasing that every day for you. So it's kind of like a savings account in a way for crypto. You also get 50% bonus back on deposits of any crypto right now, capped at 100 USDT. But you have to contact a customer support on the website chat box or in their Discord, which is down here, and tell them about it and type the code DJ Esports 50, and here's the code. Please use my link if you're interested. It helps me out. Yeah. You should make this list. Could you link me? Okay, if you can link me the this thing with all the champs, then I'll make it, because I can't fucking find one that's good. There's the list. Okay, I might dodge this. Basically, Zed has no easy matchup. Okay, perfect. I don't look at like what you need to do to climb. That's not what I consider hard. If a champion is hard, I'm thinking skill floor versus skill ceiling. And I'm only really going to consider ceiling here, because if you master the champ, how hard is it to master? That's what this list should be about. I think I might just do mid lane. I don't really care about the other. Do I really want to do like Heimerdinger and Hecarim comparisons? Like, I don't really give a fuck. Let's just move the mid laners down here up. Well, why not make that skill ceiling more necessary in order to win? I don't care whether you win or lose. It's more about how hard it is to play the champ at a ceiling. If you're the best, because like if you just go by skill floor, then Zed would be like B, maybe even C tier for skill floor. Then his list wouldn't be that bad, because yeah, it's at a low elo level where you're beginner Zed. You can just poke with Q till they get low, ult them at 50%, auto E ignite electrocute, and they're basically dead, right? That's not hard. It's a ceiling that's extremely hard. Okay, let's start ranking them. Hard champs, I think Zed ceiling, one of the hardest in the game. I've always said that. Let's put that high. Yasuo, ceiling wise, it's similar to Zed, but I think I have to keep listing. Zillion mid, obviously that's very easy. You learn his skill floor, and his skill floor is his skill ceiling. You just double bomb the wave. Ahri, ceiling wise, Ahri can be really hard. Let's go above average for now. Syndra, easy. No. She's hard, but not as hard as Zed. I think the hard category is going to be for champs that ceiling wise is like these are obviously hard to play champs, but they're like not as difficult as playing Zed. That's what I'm thinking in my head. What do I mean by ceiling? It's like if you're like perfect, let's say perfect play. Think of it when I say ceiling, imagine perfect play. What is perfect play? Like how the cap, like how high can you go? Not in terms of elo, but in terms of like mechanics, decision making. Floor is the bottom, like with basically no knowledge, how hard is it or easy is it to play? So he could be average. He's average for sure. Maybe even below average actually. Talon's not hard at all. Qiyana, I think Qiyana's floor is actually high, but her ceiling's low. So if I go by ceiling, I'd have to go average. Zoe, ceiling actually above average. Zoe at a super high level. When I think of best Zoe, I think of detention. That guy's nuts. Ceiling is super high. TF, mechanically, he's an easy champ. Yeah, he's an easy champ mechanically. TF is all about macro. But I think Talon is, you know, never mind. They're exactly the same. What am I saying? They're just exactly the same. I might bump these down here though. Irelia, ceiling wise, Irelia is really hard. I'll give that to Irelia. Azir, Zoe level difficulty. LB, ceiling, maybe S tier. TF is the hardest one, not mechanically. I'm talking mechanics. These are the easier mechanical champions. These are the harder mechanical champions. Asol, mechanically speaking, once you learn, I don't think he's that hard. I'd say he's average. Victor, average. Valkaz, probably average. Nah, above average. His Q is really hard. Fizz, mechanicals, I put him below average just like mechanically speaking, but like at a high level, you need to understand a lot about wave to play it. But yeah, below average for sure. Kindred mid, I actually see this a lot. Pretty average actually. Malzahar might be easy. Malzahar is just press buttons at people. Lee Sin mid, we'll go easy. Vladimir, I think he's got an average ceiling. Karthus, definitely easy actually. Heimer, below average. Maybe average actually. I think Heimer at a ceiling has got more mechanics than these champs, but he's at like this level. Nemesis made a tier list and said Azir's probably one of the hardest champs in the game. Maybe. I mean, if his logic is similar to mine on Zed, where like at perfect Azir play is like almost impossible to reach, then yeah, I guess. But I just don't think could be wrong actually. Maybe I will bump Azir. I just have to think about it more. Kassadin, he's pretty easy. Actually, he's probably below average, probably harder than these. Syndra, ceiling is average. Echo, this isn't easy. His ceiling is low. It's very easy to learn how to play Echo. Probably Talon level. Talon, Fizz, Cassin, like these are all like below average, easy champs. Katarina, above average ceiling. She's not a hard ceiling, like actually maybe I don't know. Maybe I still like I'm trying to save the super hard champs with like the assassins, because most of the assassins actually have high ceilings. But Jace ceiling is, it used to be hard, I feel like, or high above average, but then they made it so they fixed his W's. Now it's like it's more about game knowledge on this champ. And if I could put Jace, I think he's here. What did they change on Jace's W? Well, they made it so that you can auto reset properly with it. Lucian mid, below average ceiling. Wukong ceiling. Wukong could have a really, I've always said this about Wukong, it's a brain dead champ, but if they nerfed his numbers and made it so that he actually has to like outplay, dodge stuff with his W, he could have a really high ceiling. He could, and I want to put him with a high ceiling, but he's such a brain dead champ. He's got like the lowest fucking skill floor I've ever seen. You just EQR. Like, I might even play him if they nerfed his numbers. It's kind of cool. Similar to Zed, makes a clone, copies his spells. I think he's above average ceiling though. I don't think he's this level ceiling. Might even move a 0 up actually for ceiling. Above average ceiling. Kiana could be above average too. Yeah, I need to go over my list at the end just to make sure it's good. Ceiling is Oriana ceiling, mechanically speaking, below average. There's no way Wukong is above average. I'm talking about ceiling, like the peak Wukong play could be insane. The champ is obviously stupid as fuck though. Yasuo, same thing. Yasuo's a really high ceiling, but he's not as easy as Wukong to play. Nasus, I see this so much. They put that easy. You just Q at people. You Q wave until you have enough damage to ult and run at people with W. Tristana mid, this is easy. Ceiling wise, maybe below average, probably easier than these champs because you have to learn how to kite. Annie, easy, no ceiling there. Ceiling not found. Kali, probably this level too. Maybe a Kali play could be really high ceiling. They are nerfing her numbers too, so we should see that come out more. Set, I see a lot of set mid. I don't know if I should rate it though. Kayle, I see that too, but Galio, obviously another easy champ. Maybe average actually, maybe below average. He's like AP Talon, but I'd say he's easier than Talon even. All you have to do is press W, and then it sets up your entire combo for you in a stun, so it's like super easy. Diana, ceiling is below average. It's just a skill floor champ. Learn how to play her and you know. Oh yeah, Viego. Where is Viego? Viego, technically, you put him in the hard category because he could be any champ. So, theoretical ceiling. Rumble here right away, easy. Ziggs is pretty easy. Talia, I'd say is average actually. Nivea, ceiling is actually above average with the wall. Rise ceiling, it's actually average. Xerath ceiling, below, it's below average. No, it's probably average actually. The ceiling on Xerath could be good because he's all skill shots. It's a tricky champ to rate. Riven, she's one of the hardest champs. Pike, ceiling could be above average actually with the X. Gangplank's actually, he's not as hard as these champs, but he's hard if you put him mid. Kali is hard. I mean, most of her stuff is pretty point and click. She's got a lot of hard combos though. Her ceiling with Shroud is pretty high, but Yasuo and Kiana are hard. They're not. Ceiling is not that high. Kiana's floor is actually high. To learn how to play her, she's got a lot of intricacy to her kit. But once you learn it, it's like above average. That's why I put her here. Yasuo's a high ceiling. I don't think Yasuo's ceiling is as high as these champs, but it's definitely close. Like I could put him here. Tryndamere mid. Yeah, I could put Trynd mid. I don't see him though. Oh, there he is. Ceiling for Tryndamere is actually with the Navori and enough crit, you could E reset everywhere. His ceiling is actually. Ooh, I might have to change the list up. I'm not really happy with this category. I think average and above average is pretty fucked up. I gotta change it up. Is that it? Do I have all the mids? Nocturne. That is... Ceiling is definitely easy. Where the fuck is Yone? It doesn't have Yone. This list doesn't have Yone, I think. Well, let's say this is Yone. He'd be... Yone's ceiling is probably... this. It's lower than Yasuo's. It's gonna be a tier below. Veigar. Ceiling. Not as hard as theirs. Probably below average ceiling. Graves. Graves mid. I haven't seen it enough yet in Hilo. Actually, I've seen it once in like months, so I'm not going to count that. Alright, let's fix this up a bit. So, probably move this up. Maybe move this up. Move this up. This could go down. This might go down too. I think the Syndra ceiling isn't as high as... it's pretty... I think I'm going to take Kindred off. I think I'm not going to counter. Oh, where's Nico? Right, Nico ceiling, low average. I think I'm going to put Syndra lower too. I don't think she belongs here. Now, do any of these ones fucked? Could move Chase up. Chase actually has a ton of mechanics. I should definitely move them up. Aurelion Soul, I don't think it's that high. Correct me if I'm wrong, but A Soul is just learning W, and that's like skill 4, right? So learning how to play him is just learning his W, and then his basic combo is actually just RQ. Yasuo, Kayle, and Qiyana. This is ceiling. In terms of ceiling, I don't think Yasuo is ceiling-wise is on par with these champs. Yasuo's got like too many limitations. He doesn't do enough. Like these champs do more than his champ at a high level. At like not high level play, but like at mastery. Zig ceiling is you just press bombs. Like you just throw bombs. Press W on yourself. Learning the hitboxes. It's not like I should probably move this down too then. Just learning hitboxes. Oh, this was my fake Yone, right? So this is Yone. If we're gonna count this as Yone, I mean, let's just probably leave it then. Yone would be here, maybe even here. Maybe Yone would be average, actually. Average ceiling. Once you learn how to play Yone, it's pretty easy. He doesn't have that many cancels. His kit is really straightforward. Beside knowing how to extend your E duration, which is like the only thing that's like ceiling wise about him. Kayle ceiling below average. I think these champs have a higher ceiling. Maybe not. I mean, it's just right click. It's hard to define a right click in our timing. Well, Aurelia's ceiling is hard because she can reset her Q constantly. And depending on like how good you are with the E, you could stun a whole team, and you could actually take out a whole team if you're really good. You could dodge everything. Like her ceiling is extremely high. Swain ceiling, probably here. I haven't played him in forever, and I haven't seen him in forever, so it's really hard for me to know for sure. This is just mid lane though. I had Brand. Brandon's probably easy ceiling. Actually, probably below average. Set mid ceiling, below average. Cho'Gath, Corki and Cho'Gath. Might do Cho'Gath too. I mean, Corki ceiling, similar to Kayle, I guess. You just have to learn how to play him. It's pretty below average. How's Yasuo lower than Irelia? This is so disrespectful. Aurelia's ceiling, like I said, is crazy high. Perfect Irelia play kills a whole team without being touched. Almost, like it's insane. She has a lot of combos, though. I don't really understand how can Sylas, Wukong, Vlad be above average, yet Yasuo, Kennen, who are far harder in here. Their ceiling isn't. I'm just looking at like how what they can do. I guess maybe it is fair to put Katarina hard. Yeah, I'm not making sense. You're actually right, because if Katarina plays perfectly, she can use her E resets and dodge everything. That's actually true. You're right, actually. My bad. Not trying to be hypocritical here. I think I'm done with the list. It's not perfect. There's definitely issues with it, but I'm just too lazy to finish.
I think I'm overdosing.